Skylore is an upcoming mobile MMORPG that I was able to gain early access with during their beta program. A game full of fantastical creatures and races with large, challenging zones to quest through. What is up, dwellers of the interwebs? It's your host Sorasin, and this is Sorasin Gaming. Welcome to my channel. According to the website, Skylore's origins are shrouded in a fog of mystery. The only thing known is that an ancient, powerful force rushed into the world, abandoned by the gods and magic. This moment changed everything. What is it? A hope for a better life or a new threat? Skylore's characters are quite varied in appearance and race. The character creator isn't exactly very deep, but what it does offer is 2 genders for each race, something a lot of mobile MMOs refuse to do these days. There are 6 races in total, all able to be either male or female. And of those 6 races, there are 5 classes to choose from. All classes are available to the 6 races. There are no restrictions whatsoever. Those 5 races are also divided into 2 factions for PvP purposes. The character customization is very limited, sadly, with only 7 appearances to choose from. But I was very impressed with having no gender-locked features in the game. Skylore's combat is as simple as it gets. There's no auto combat, but there is auto attack for the basic move. So your character will move between enemies once they're down without you worrying about having to target a new enemy as long as they're aggroed onto you or nearby, which can be useful when there's lots of things going on your screen. You just have to control your abilities, using them as they come off cooldown. There is, however, auto-pathing from point A to point B. However, if you're wanting to find a vendor, you will have to manually move to their location, as you cannot use the map to target a location to auto-path to. Considering the game's movement is tap to move, and how the world moves with your character and cannot be moved independently of your character, having something like a tap to move via the main map could prove useful. Better than tapping the edge of the world on your screen over and over again, trying to navigate to vendors or whatever else you might be searching for. Also, since the combat is so basic, it can feel rather boring at times, and trying to dodge telegraphed moves can feel clunky as a tank class or even a melee class in general, because you can get stuck on the enemy, which can make you not get out of big attacks in time. There is also PvP in Skylore. It's okay. It's 100% manual combat and real time, but the game I played felt ridiculously one-sided. I have a feeling the other team was pretty strong, or my character was just way too weak, which I can believe, to be honest, considering how hard I'm finding it to gear my character. Basically, the PvP match I played was 3 versus 3, and you just kill each other's team to get as many points until you win. There are dungeons as well. I'm not sure if the dungeon finder was working, because I kept seeing people in chat making pre-made teams. This could also be because, as is usual in a lot of MMO games, pickup groups can be pretty fail a majority of the time, and considering what I experienced in the dungeons, it is a complete mess. The mobs are so cluttered, every time you go for a pull, you aggro the whole room. I don't know how a low-level character is meant to hold their own in a party in a situation like that. After several wipes, we did indeed decide to give up. Right now in the game, I'm in a state of limbo. I can't progress the main story because I need to be level 10, but I can't earn enough mastery to increase my level from new gear, since none of the side quests are providing me with better gear and are now getting harder. Everything is level 9, I'm still stuck at level 7, and I seem to be absolutely useless in PvP and dungeons. I suppose I shouldn't have rolled a tank class. When I first loaded up Skylore and started playing it, I thought it was a lot of fun and could keep me invested for a long time. There's many quests to do, there's a main story quest line, and many side missions to do as well. But Skylore has a different type of leveling system compared to other MMO games. You do not earn experience from quests to level your character. Instead, you earn a currency to help grow your talent tree, which will give you mastery. Mastery is your experience points to level your character, and can also be gained from equipping better gear and from gear enhancements. So, if you're not getting any gear from quests or can't progress your quest lines because you're getting weaker, like I am, it starts getting really hard. I'm currently unable to progress my main story, like I said before, because I need to be level 10, but I can't seem to get any new gear anywhere. I feel I'm supposed to grind dungeons, but I'm too weak to be of any use there, and since I have yet to learn Taunt, I can't hold enemies onto me anyway. Oh, and the talent tree also has a timer for unlocking the new talents. Currently, I have to wait 15 minutes for each new talent talent trait, which can be sped up with premium currency. I'm not sure how I feel about time gating talents that make you stronger, but at the moment 15 minutes is okay. I don't know for sure, but I'd imagine the length of time does increase further as you progress the talent tree. There is a guild system, but it is currently unavailable during the beta. At first I was pretty impressed with how slow it takes to level up, but the reason it's taking so long to level up is because, like I said before, you don't earn experience or mastery in this case from killing monsters or completing quests. So your level relies on how good you are at upgrading your talent tree. I think the moral of my story is I definitely should have tried a different class. I think Tank would have been perfectly fine if I had partnered up with someone to play with. The graphics are okay, nothing super special about them. Skylore is definitely going for that old school RPG vibe, with also making it an isometric 2.5D game. You cannot zoom in or rotate around your character either. The biggest positive I found with the visuals was that your gear does change its appearance when equipping new gear. I always love when games have that feature. I like seeing my character's armor look stronger as I progress. I'd love to say I loved the audio in Skylore, but there really wasn't much of it. The music was either non-existent or was so quiet I didn't notice it. I found myself constantly trying to turn up the volume on many occasions, only to realize I was already at full volume. It didn't help my experience in the game much, if I'm being honest. The sound effects were present, combat effect sounds were there too. Just the lack of ambient sounds or background music made it hard to feel immersed in the game. I eventually disabled the music option in games since there's almost none anyway, and just played my own music. At least that helped in making me less sleepy as I progressed through the game. Overall, Skylore started off strong in impressing me with its lack of gender locking and manual combat, but the way the game is structured overall wasn't for me. I'm not really a fan of tap to move games. I'd prefer a virtual joystick movement option like in Guardian Tales. And I wasn't a fan of how to level up in the game. Unfortunately, this really isn't my type of game. I think if Skylore opted for a more traditional way of getting stronger, with offering decent enough armor and weapons to hold your own in the dungeons to give you that extra stepping stone towards getting better gear, it could have helped instead of relying on a mastery system that has the potential to halt your progress like it did for me. I tried my best to advance as much as I could, but I just couldn't seem to find any good armor to boost my mastery to the next levels. I'm very disappointed that I didn't like the game as much as I hoped I would. Of course, the game is still in beta, but they did state that the beta version is the most similar to the one that will be released officially. But I do understand that the game is still under development and many things can still change for the better. So that's what I think about Skylore's beta. Remember, this is just my first impression. Please do not be offended if my first impression differs from yours. If you feel you had a different experience and would like to share your experience with me, I'd be happy to read them in the comments below. If you'd like me to review any mobile game you're curious about, please let me know what game you'd like to see me talk about also in the comments below. I also noticed a lot of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed to me based on my recent analytics. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon if you'd like to stay up to date on all my upcoming content. All my social links are in my description, so please follow me if you feel like it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, be safe. This is Sorensen Gaming signing off.